ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वती नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव शंभो शंकर। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांता गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। अहंकार सविज्ञेयः कर्ता भोक्ता अभिमानी अन्य अयम् अभिमान्य अयम्। This ahankara ego is the karta and bhokta. Karta doer, bhokta means enjoyer. Satvadi guna yogena cha avastatrayam ashnute. In union with sattva raja tamo gunas, it is enjoying or assuming three avastas: jagrat, swapna and sushupti avastas. When predominantly tamoguna is there, when this ego identifies with causal body, when tamoguna is predominant, then we experience deep sleep state, sushupti avastha. When rajoguna is predominant, three gunas will be there, but predominantly when rajoguna is predominant, we experience swapna avastha, dream state. When sattva-guna is predominant, we will be in jagrada avastha, in the waking state. So this ego, jiva bhava, is undergoing sukha and dukkha, and all the time having the sense of I-ness. I am so and so person. Yesterday we have discussed why all of us, we are sometimes happy and sometimes unhappy, why we are experiencing happiness and sorrow, sukha and dukkha. Here it is said, Vishayanam anukulye sukhi. When all sense objects are conducive to one's own vasanas, to one's own desires, then that person is sukhi. He is happy. Dukkhi viparyaye. Vishayanam viparyaye dukkhi. When these sense objects are not conducive, then the person is miserable and sorrowful. But sukha and dukkha, these are the dharmas of ego, but not the self. Sukham dukkham cha tad dharmaha. Here tat means what? That means that ego. So happiness and sorrow, these are the dharmas, these are the qualities of ego, but not Atma Swarupa. Then what is the nature and what is the dharma of Atma Swarupa? Sadananda. This is all the time happy in nature, blissful. Even we cannot call it as happiness, it's a state of blissful. Sadanandasya na atmanaha sukham dukkham cha. The self is all the time blissful. So these dharmas are not there in the Atma Swarupa. No sukha, no dukkha. Generally people will be thinking, if there is no sorrow, that is okay, but sukha should be there, na? No. No sukha, no dukkha, only Ananda Swarupa. Then how we can say this Atma Swarupa is ever blissful, and how can we say there is no happiness in sense objects? Yesterday we read the sloka number 106. Let us see the meaning of this one. Once we will chant, then we will see the word meaning of it. Atmartatvena hi preyan vishayo na swatah priyaha swatayeva hi sarvesham atma priyatamo yataha tatatma sadanandaha nasya dukkham kadachena. Atmartatvena. Atmartatvena means for the sake of self, because of the self. Artha means for the sake or cause. Atmartatvena, because of the self. He, only because of the self. Preyan vishayaha. Preyan means pleasure giving happiness. Preyan. What? Vishayaha, sense objects. Sense objects are pleasure giving only because of the self. Na swataha, but not, na means not, swataha, independently. So sense objects independently, they cannot give happiness. They are giving happiness because of the self. Why? We will see. We will discuss that point. And what about the self? Self is giving happiness independently, or Atma also is depending upon something, then we are experiencing happiness like that. Here it is said, Swataha eva hi sarvesham atma priyatamaha. Next one you can see. Priyaha swataha. Swataha, already one word we have seen, another swataha is there. Priyaha means dear. Then swataha, in the next line you can see. Swatayeva hi sarvesham atma priyatamaha yataha. Swataha by itself, eva hi. Eva hi means verily. Emphasizing. Only. Sarvesham, of all. Atma, the self. Priyatamaha. Priyatamaha means most beloved. Priyatamaha. Priya, Priyatara, Priyatama. You know, na? These are the various kinds of degrees. Comparing, and it's a superlative degree. Here it is said Priyatamaha. the most beloved. Yataha, because. Why? Because. Tataha, therefore, connection is there. We will say in prose after word meaning. Tataha, therefore, Atma Sadanandaha. Atma, the self, Sada Anandaha, ever blissful. Na asya dukkham kadachena. Na, never. Asya. Asya means kasya, to eat. Atmanaha, of the self. Dukkham, to eat, to the self. Dukkham, misery. Kadachena. Kadachena means anytime. The self is ever blissful in nature. The happiness that which we are experiencing from the worldly objects, it's not from the objects, it is because of the self alone. And when it comes to the self itself is blissful in nature. It is not depending upon anything. And all of us, we love ourselves the most. I cannot use the word for the self plural. Just for our understanding, I use this word. Self is one. Okay, Atma is one. So that blissful state of Atma is what you call appearing, as though appearing sense pleasures. It is not because of the object, it is because of the Atma Swarupa we are experiencing happiness. So this is the simple word meaning. Now we will see. These points are very important. This is also very important sloka. Atmartatvena hi preyan vishayaha na swataha priyaha. All sense objects are dear to us, are giving happiness, pleasure giving, because of the self, not by themselves, not independently. Swataha means independent, na swataha, independently. All of us, what we are thinking, when we have objects, whatever we desire, when we get them, when we gain something what we want to gain, and when we achieve something, or when we will be having our own near and dear people around us, we think because of the objects, people, and conducive atmosphere, we are experiencing happiness. But in fact, here it is said, the happiness is not because of the objects. See, seeming contradiction is there. We are thinking objects are giving happiness. But from Vedantic standpoint, it is saying objects independently, they cannot give happiness. How we can understand this one? And here it is said, Sarvesha, for everyone, the Atma is the most beloved than any other thing in this world. For the sake of the self, that person will be ready to do anything, ready to sacrifice anything for his own happiness. Here what is happening? Atma is ever blissful. This is final statement. Then why sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are unhappy? We are thinking when all conducive things are there, we are happy, otherwise we are unhappy. This is one statement. Another statement is, there is no real happiness in the sense objects. Sense objects are giving happiness because of the Atma only. This is another statement. How to understand all these things? Just we can discuss. When we are having desire in our mind due to our vasanas, because of our vasanas, desire is arising in our mind. to fulfill that desire, we want to get something in the external world. Atma Ananda is Nitya. Sadananda word is used here. So Atma is ever blissful. It means what? We are already happy. We are blissful. But because of our vasanas, it is covered, and because of vasanas, so many desires are arising in our mind. When desire is arising, what is happening? Hesitation is there in our mind. It is like when what you call in the pond, water is there, quiet, cool, but when we put one small stone in that one, what will happen? Slowly ripples will be there. Yes, the water is disturbed. It is like putting stone means it's a rising desire in our mind. As long as those ripples are there, we cannot see that water is quieted. Yes, and we cannot see our reflection properly in that water. In the same way, because of our desires, we are unable to experience our inner blissful state, and we are thinking when we fulfill our desires, we will be happy. So what is happening when we have desire for one object? One lady, she went to window shopping along with her friend. When she went there, just name is window shopping, but when she went there after seeing all those objects, another lady, she wanted to buy one simple object, but both of them, when they have entered into that shopping mall, when they have seen those objects, what happened? All of us, we know what will happen also. So desires will arise. If I'll buy this object, it will be nice. So we require this one. Now, this is looking so nice and cheap and best also. So now if we will buy it, is good. Otherwise, after a few days, the cost also may rise more. So this is looking nice. So saying like this, what happened when they came out from that shopping mall? Full bags. They have to call one taxi also to carry all those things. When the desire is there in the mind, that person cannot keep quiet. So the thought waves are arising and disturbing, and we are unable to experience our peaceful state, blissful state. And one more thing, when our desire is fulfilled, temporarily what is happening? Those ripples quietened. Ripples means the thought waves, hesitations quietened. So that time we are feeling, yes, it's giving so much joy, so much happiness. It is connected to the objects. Come to our near and dear ones, people. When people are giving joy, and when they are loving us, caring us, having concern for us, when they are respecting us, we feel so happy. Why? Because we are expecting all these things from others. Is it fact or not? True, no? It's not they are giving, not like that. We are expecting from them. So when we receive those things, we feel so happy. In fact, if we don't expect all these things from others, we will be more happy all the time. When we receive only, that time we will be happy. If we don't receive from them according to our expectation, then far sorrowful, unhappy, sometimes miserable also. To which extent we will be having the expectation and having desires in our mind, to that level we will be ready to receive sorrow, dukkha also. if those things are not fulfilled. If those things will be fulfilled, what is happening for time being, temporarily, these words are important, for timing and temporarily, all those thoughts will be settled down, and that time we experience so happy. But again, what will happen? The thought of expectation, those desires will not end that time. And when we experience such kind of things from the external world, we want to get more and more from the objects and people. Same experience. Then what is happening? Again, natural, its hesitation will be there, desires will be there, expectations will be there in the mind. Dun, 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 dun. What is what to do is we don't have words to say all the time. Such kind of hesitations. That self is blissful in nature. Why we are not experiencing? Sada Ananda, it is said, no? Not Yada Kada Ananda. Because Atma is ever blissful, and we are also, all of us, in ignorant state, all the time having desires and expectations. That's why we are unable to experience the bliss of the self. It doesn't mean we are not experiencing, it is not there, not like that. When water is quiet, we can see our reflection properly. When water is continuously disturbed, then how can we see our reflection properly? And one more thing, we should not think it's like desire means one desire one day, one fine day, one desire is there, and after 1 week it will be fulfilled, and afterwards at least we can experience this one. It's not like that. Just now we have discussed, all of us continuously we want to get something from the objects and people. Few desires are having some time duration, and few desires are continuously they have there. So here it is said, all of us, we have to understand these sense objects and people, they are independently cannot give happiness. They are pleasure giving because of the self. Why? Because one thing, when we are alive, then only we can receive that happiness. Yes, it means what? Our self only is reflecting through them. When objects are existing, people are existing, then we are experiencing happiness. The existence factor is Atma Swarupa only. Yes. Please try to understand this very subtle point, very, very subtle point. Objects and people, all these things are existing because of what? Because of Atma Swarupa. It means they themselves, they don't have any existence at all, and they don't have the capacity to give happiness also. Why? Because if they are really having happiness in them, they have to give the happiness all the time. But it is not happening. When objects and people, they are conducive to us, to our vasanas, then we are happy. Otherwise, we are not happy. If the object is having really that happiness, that one, why that same object which is giving happiness today to us, after few days, that same object useless. We are throwing into dustbin. Yes, few days we are using. When we have desire for that object, I want to get it, I want to get it. After buying that one, I was saying that one is so nice, so nice. After so many days, I got it. I bought it. Feeling so happy. But after few years, the same person, one who expressed such kind of joy because of that object, the same person with his own hands, one fine day, before festival, Diwali or Ugadi, he feels it's no use at all. new model has come, better I can buy it. It's useless now. Yes. And that person will feel no space for this object in the house, and he will throw it. When it comes to people, I cannot use such kind of harsh words. You can understand, okay? For objects though, I can explain. But same thing is happening, will happen towards relationships also. Yes. Sometimes person wants to be very close and wants to spend time with one person, and the same person will feel, why this person in my life? Oh God, this don't want. I don't know. Is it happening or not? Yes. If the same object, the same person, if they are having really independently capacity to give happiness, then we have to experience all the time that happiness. It is not happening. It means what? Independently, sense pleasures, sense objects, they cannot give happiness. Because of the self only, they are having that capacity to give happiness. This is one thing clear. So what should be done finally? Better, please understand. You yourself are blissful in nature. You are yourself Ananda Swarupa. Don't all the time expect happiness from external objects and people. How long people also can love and respect you? No? For their standpoint also, if you are conducive, if you are giving happiness to them, they will love. Otherwise, they won't love. They don't give respect. It's quite common. Objects better than people because objects, they can't speak, they can't say, and objects cannot ask. No, 10 years back, you said like that, without this object, I cannot live. I want to get it. It's giving so much happy. And after 10 years, you are throwing me in dustbin. That object is not asked. And one more thing. स्वत एव हि सर्वेषाम् आत्मा प्रियतमः यतः ततः आत्मा सदानन्दः. One point we have discussed, and this clearly said, sense objects, they cannot give independently happiness. Because of the self, they are giving happiness. And the next one, all of us, we are having the most love for our own self. So this is self sarvesham of all, priyatamaha, most beloved. How can we say? Because when it comes to the objects and people, we love sometime, but we don't love sometime. Why? Because if they give happiness, we love them. If they don't give happiness, we don't love them. Simple things. But when it comes to us, we never have the feeling of we like sometime ourselves, we love and we don't love. Because ever we are feeling that Atma is Ananda Swarupa. We are feeling means it's not that experience is quite evident for us in ignorant state, but all of us unknowingly, we are experiencing inside that happiness of the self, means that bliss of the self. That's why we love ourselves the most. It is proving when we have love towards anything, it means what? It is giving happiness. Yes. Our Atma is blissful in nature, ever giving happiness. That's why we love the Atma the most. And it is in our own experience also. Each and every person in this world, whatever he may be doing, whatever he may be having the objects or maintaining relationships, He may be earning a lot of money, name, fame, everything. For what? Simple thing. For his own happiness. That's all. For his or her own happiness. And people may be saying, I'm doing a lot of work and I'm sacrificing so many things for your sake only. No, please understand, not for others' sake, for one's own sake only. And sometimes we may come across some people, they may be ready to give up their life also for higher cause. Why? Because in that one also, they are experiencing that happiness. Atmananda. Here Atmananda means it's that not absolute happiness. Because of sacrificing the life, that person is getting happiness. That's why the person is ready to give up that life. Please understand. And when it comes to Vyavahara, it's most of the time people, if you are not giving happiness, cut. But we never say ourselves, I don't like myself. No, we don't say. And sometimes a few people will be saying, no, so many bad qualities will be there in that person. That person may be saying, no, I don't like my own self. I'm having this kind of bad habits, it's like that. But that is also showing what? He loves himself to be good. Then he will be happy. It means what? He loves himself. If you can understand the expression, he doesn't like, why? Because of his habits, it's not because of his own self. And one more point, tataha atma sadanandaha na asya dukkham kadachena. There is no trace of dukkha, sorrow in the self. All of us, we love our own self the most because it is giving happiness. In Atma Swarupa, there is no dukkha at all. In sense objects, sometimes sukha, sometimes dukkha. But when it comes to Atma Swarupa, no dukkha at all. Knowingly, unknowingly, all of us, we are seeking for this ever blissful state only. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. It is said in the Upanishad. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. The objects, wife, children, house, friends, relatives, property, name, fame, all these things are Atmanastu kamaya priyam bhavati. Only for his own self, all those things are dear to him when they are giving happiness. For his own happiness, only all those things are dear. That's no contradiction at all. How can we say these sense objects, they don't have happiness in them independently? How can we say Atma is ever blissful? One more point. The next sloka, this is also very important. With one Drustanta example, Adi Shankaracharya is expounding it. Yetshushuptau nirvishayaha Yeshushuktau nirvishayaha Atmanandonubhuyate Atmanandonubhuyate Shruti pratyakshamaytihyam Shruti pratyakshamaytihyam Anumanam cha jagrati Anumanam cha jagrati Yat shushuptau nirvishayaha. Yat means that which. Shushuptau. Shushuptau in deep sleep state. Nirvishayaha. Vishaya, sense objects. Nirvishayaha, independent of sense objects, means absence of sense objects. This word is very important. Nirvishayaha. Please imagine, there is no Vishaya at all. We discussed about this point, very important point. No Vishaya at all. Vishaya means nothing but Nama Rupa, in simple terms. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. If we want to put in 2 words only, Nama and Rupa. Just imagine there is no name and there is no form. Means no time, no space. So, in Shushupti Avastha, in deep sleep state, we are not experiencing any sense object. No Vishaya at all. Yet Shushuptau Nirvishayaha Atmanandaha Anubhuyate. Anubhuyate. Anubhava means experience. Anubhuyate means it is experienced. Is experienced what? Atmanandaha, bliss of the Atma Swarupa. All of us, we are happy or not in deep sleep state. Yes, of course we are happy. That's why all the time we want to sleep. Who is saying this one? When there is no any Vishaya at all, we are experiencing Sukha in deep sleep state. Who is saying? Of course, all of us also we are saying. And here, Srutihi, it is not said by one common man only. Srutihi. Shruti itself is saying scriptural declaration. So these are the scriptural declarations. And Pratyaksham. Pratyaksham means our own direct experience. For this one, no proof is required. Na? All of us, we accept this one. Na? What? Whether we accept it or not, is Atma is Sadananda Swarupa, but we accept there is Sukha, there is happiness in deep sleep state without any object experienced by us. So Pratyaksham, Pratyaksham. Here Pratyaksham means it's in front of our eyes, but here we have to understand it's direct experience, Pratyaksham. And Aitihyam, Aitihyam means Itiha, it is said like this, means it is tradition also, Aihityam, Anumanam cha, and inference also. Inference also we can understand by inference also, Anumana Pramanena. In deep sleep state, when any object is not there at all, that person is happy. And person also is saying after getting up, I felt so happy, I slept very well. It's like that. Jagrati. Here Jagrati means it's not in waking state. Here Jagrati means clearly say. It is clearly say, it is attest or clearly it is said by whom? Sruti, Pratyaksha, Ahitya, Anumana. Of these things. And for us, very powerful pramana is what? Pratyaksha. So, see, when we have this kind of deep sleep Sukha experience, when we have Atmananda experience, then how it will be? For us, nothing is required. No any pramana also is required. And these pravachans also not required. How much it's Sruti and masters and go on emphasizing you are Ananda Swarupa, you are Ananda Swarupa. But at the time we say, yes, I may be Ananda Swarupa, but what to do? So many sadhus are there. Yet Shushupto Nirvishaya. We focus on this word Nirvishaya. In deep sleep state, the person, how he is experiencing happiness. Maya Sukha Nidra Anubhuyate. The person is saying, I felt happiness, I slept well, and all of us, we are having this experience when we go to sleep. After coming out from that sleep, we are getting new energy also. Yes. It's not only happiness, energy also. It means what? The source of energy, the source of bliss, the source of happiness, it is there within us. not outside. Because nirvishaya, in deep sleep state, we don't have any object to experience. No near dear one, no wife, no children, no grandchildren, no grandchildren. See, when the person is tired, even though the people want to, very dear people, near people, they are coming to him and they wanted to share something and they wanted to show something. That time, what person will say, so all those things afterwards. Just I want to sleep. Why? Why? Because there is more happiness in deep sleep state. It doesn't mean all the time hours together we have to sleep. Please understand why this example has been given, to understand without objects also we can be happy. That one. And one more point, in deep sleep state, even though all of us we are experiencing happiness, but we are unable to realize our own self, we are unable to directly experience that bliss. Why? Because that time in deep sleep state, still ignorance is there, that covering is there, but that jiva is very closer to that Brahma Swarupa. Because of that, we are experiencing that energy and happiness. That non-apprehension of the self is there. That covering achadana will be there in deep sleep state. Vishayas are not there, but at the same time, no direct experience of the place. In between what is happening, the absence of sorrow is there. That's why we are experiencing happiness. Understand this one? Dukkha is not there. Why? Because Vishayas are not there. It means what? It means what? Sorrow is because of Vishayas, the sense objects. Nirvishaya, happiness. Savishaya, dukkha. Our body, mind, intellect, these upadhis, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandhas, this world is the cause of our sorrow. That's why all the time we want to get rid of from the sorrow. See, all the time if we are experiencing happiness in this world only, why we want to go to sleep? Please. Amma, you go on giving so many logical points. Amma, what to do? We have to say yes, yes or no. No, not like that. It's not this. We are saying not like that. Our own experience also, no? If really happiness is there in the people and objects, why we want to go to sleep? All the time we can be in waking state and we go on experience all these things in this world. But most of us, even though we are seeking for the happiness in this world, most of us, we want to go to sleep. We want to sleep because we want to get rid of from our own thoughts. When person is having so many problems, what that person wants to get? That person will say, at least a few hours, let me sleep. Before the sleep and after getting up from the sleep, the person is safe, miserable. But during the deep sleep state, happy or not? See, sometimes our body will be, it's paining a lot, and so many, what you call, diseases, troubling a lot this physical body. But sometimes the pain is too much. When that person will sleep, even though the person is suffering a lot because of that body, that disease, but in that sleep state, deep sleep state, no trace of pain of the body. Yes, it means what? It means what? Atma is ever Ananda Swarupa. We think this body is giving happiness sometimes, but when it is causing sorrow, we want to get rid of from that one. So without body also we can be happy or not? Amma, you are saying so is no, not like that. Just now we have seen, no? Without body, we can be happy. Without thoughts, we can be more happy. Without mind, without intellect, without object, when we are sleeping in deep sleep state, all of us, do we know really that time we are experiencing, this is my nice pillow and in AC room and this nice bed? Do we know? No, no. So really our happiness is not depending. When person is feeling so hungry, he didn't get food, but after some time he fell sleepy and fast asleep. In deep sleep state, is that person feeling hungry or thirsty? No. Means these are not dharmas of Atma Swarupa. Earlier we have seen, na? Sir, prana dharmas. One person cannot see at all that by birth. But when that person is sleeping, and when the another person is having two eyes, he can see. And when that person is sleeping, the experience of them, both of them, is same. It means what? Our happiness, in fact, is not depending on our senses. And one person is having crores of money and this luxurious life, is so many objects and so many servants, near, dear one, people, so all those things are there. And the person is orphan. Both of them are sleeping. But the experience is common. Yes. Nirvishaya. Nirvishaya, when we go to settle point, no nama, no rupa. When this same thing, nirvishaya, will happen in waking state, in deep meditation, when we enter into samadhi, we experience directly the blissful state of Atma. That is called Atma Sakshatkar. All these points about self and all these things will come later on, but Shankaracharya just touched here these two verses, explaining in these two verses. The Atmananda is Sada Ananda Swarupa, it is independent, and Vishayas are not giving really happiness independently, they are giving happiness because of Atma Swarupa only. See, today what we have discussed very important points in our lives. So many times, whatever we are doing, we completely forgot about all these things. Even not thinking also. It's what we are doing and what we are expecting, what we are experiencing. It's go on increasing the Vishayas, we don't get happiness. Finally, we have to reach the state of Nirvishaya. That may be in this life or in other life or so many course of life, same thing. And having heard this one, don't come to the conclusion. This Nirvishaya means only deep sleep state. Amma, if you leave us, just we will go and sleep. Amma, no, it's not like that. Huh? That Nirvishaya should happen in waking state also. Then we experience that. Or that or this. I am Atma. This Ananda Swarupa. यशुषुप्तो निर्विषयः आत्मानन्दोऽनुभूयते श्रुतिः प्रत्यक्षमैतिह्यम् अनुमानं च जाग्रति. This thought is very clear. Tomorrow we will see about Maya Shakti, and about the causal body. We have seen in Anatma about gross body and subtle body, and about prana, etc. All these things. And the next verse onwards, we are going to discuss about Maya Shakti, causal body. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Asato Ma Satkamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. ఆత్మార్థత్వేన హి ప్రేయాన్ విషయః న స్వతః ప్రియః. విషయ వస్తువులు అన్నటువంటివి స్వతంత్రంగా ఆనందాన్ని ఇవ్వలేవు. వాటి నుండి లభించే సుఖం, ఆనందం ఆత్మ వల్లే కలుగుతోందని చెప్తున్నారు. ఇదెలా సాధ్యమవుతుంది అంటే, వస్తువులు కానీ వ్యక్తులు కానీ స్వతంత్రంగా ఆనందం ఇచ్చేలాగా ఉన్నట్లయితే ఎప్పుడు ఆనందాన్ని ఇవ్వాలి. కానీ వస్తువుల వల్ల, వ్యక్తుల వల్ల ఎప్పుడూ ఆనందం కలుగుతూ ఉండటం లేదు. కొన్నిసార్లు సుఖం కలుగుతుంది, కొన్నిసార్లు దుఃఖం కలుగుతుంది. ఇదొకటి. ఇంకొక అంశం వచ్చేసి, వస్తువులు కానీ వ్యక్తులు కానీ వాళ్ళందరూ ఉన్నప్పుడు, అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జిస్టెన్స్ అన్నమాట, ఉనికిని కలిగి ఉంటేనే మనకి ఆనందం కలుగుతుంది. ఇంకొకటి అంశం, మనం జీవించి ఉంటేనే వాటి నుంచి ఆనందాన్ని పొందుతున్నాం. ఇక్కడ జీవించి ఉండడం అన్నా, అక్కడ అవి ఉనికిని కలిగి ఉండడం అన్నా, ఇదంతా కూడా ఆత్మస్వరూపమే. వస్తువుల్లోనే ఆనందం ఉంది అని అనుకోవడం అజ్ఞానం. ఆత్మస్వరూపము ఆనంద స్వరూపం అని తెలుసుకోవడము ఆత్మ జ్ఞానం. ఇంకొక అంశం ఏంటి అంటే, మరి వస్తువుల వల్ల ఆనందం కలుగుతోంది కదా, వ్యక్తుల వల్ల, మరి ఆనందం కాదా అంటే, అది ఎప్పుడు ఆనందం అనిపిస్తోంది అన్న అంశం గమనించాలి. ఆత్మ సదా ఆనంద స్వరూపమై ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా దాన్ని మనం అజ్ఞానం కారణంగా తెలుసుకోలేకపోవటము, వాసనలు అన్నటువంటివి మనల్లో కోరికల్ని కలిగించడం వల్ల, ఆ కోరికలు అన్నటువంటివి మన అంతఃకరణంలో, మన మనస్సులో అలజడిని కలిగించడం వల్ల, నిశ్చలత్వం లేకపోవటం వల్ల ఆత్మ అనుభూతి అన్నటువంటిది, ఆత్మ ఆనంద అనుభూతి అన్నటువంటిది కలగడం లేదు. ఈ కోరికల కారణంగా కలిగినటువంటి ఆ అలజడిని తొలగించుకోవడం కోసము కోరికలు తీర్చుకోవడం జరుగుతోంది. ఎప్పుడైతే తాత్కాలికంగా కోరిక అన్నటువంటిది తీరుతుందో, అప్పుడు అంతఃకరణం ఉపశమించి తాత్కాలికంగా కొంత సమయము సుఖం, ఆనందం, ప్రశాంతత అనిపిస్తుంది. కానీ మనకి నిరంతరము లోపల వాసనలు అన్నటువంటివి ఉండటం వల్ల, కొన్ని వస్తువులు, కొంతమంది వ్యక్తుల ద్వారా ఆనందం పొందాలి అన్నటువంటిది, కొన్ని విషయాల్లో తాత్కాలికంగా కోరికలు ఉంటాయి. కొన్ని కోరికలు వచ్చేసి దీర్ఘకాలం ఉండేటువంటి కోరికలు. వ్యక్తుల నుంచి ప్రేమ, గౌరవం, అభిమానం కావాలన్నటువంటిది ఒక రోజు కోరిక కలిగి రెండో రోజు తీరిపోయేదా? కాదు కదా. జీవితకాలం అందరికీ ఉండేటువంటివి. ఇంకా వస్తువులు అన్నటువంటివి, ఈ వస్తువు ఉంటే ఆనందం ఉంటుంది, ఇది లేకపోతే ఆనందం లేదనుకుంటాం. కానీ ఈ కోరికలు అన్నటువంటివి నిరంతరం ఇలాగే ఉంటూ ఉండటం వల్ల, అలజడులు అన్నటువంటివి ఎప్పుడూ ఉంటూ ఉండటం వల్ల, తాత్కాలికంగా కొన్ని కోరికలు తీరినప్పుడు కొంచెం ఆనందం కలుగుతూ, ఎక్కువ శాతము ఎప్పుడు అశాంతి, ఏదో తెలియని వెలితి, బాధ, దుఃఖం అన్నటువంటివి ఉంటున్నాయి. కోరికలు తీరినప్పుడు ఇంకా అధిక దుఃఖం అన్నటువంటిది కలుగుతుంది. ఎంతగా మనిషి ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తాడో ఆ స్థాయిలో దుఃఖాన్ని కూడా అనుభవించాల్సి ఉంటుంది, ఆ కోరికలు నెరవేరకపోయినట్లయితే. ఇంకొక అంశం వచ్చేసి, వ్యక్తులు కానీ వస్తువులు కానీ మనకి ఎప్పుడైతే ఆనందాన్ని ఇస్తారో అంతవరకు మాత్రమే మనకి వాళ్ళ పట్ల ప్రేమ ఉంటుంది. క్వైట్ కామన్. మనకి ఆనందం ఇవ్వడం లేదు అని అనిపించినప్పుడు, మన సొంత వాళ్ళనైనా సరే, ఈవెన్ ఒక్కొక్కసారి తల్లిదండ్రులు బిడ్డల్ని కూడా, కొడుకుల్ని కూడా ఇంట్లోంచి వెళ్ళిపోరా అని అంటారు. ఎందుకంటారు? ఆనందం లేకపోవడం వల్లే కదా. బాధ ఎక్కువైనప్పుడు, రే అసలు నాకు కొడుకే లేడు అనుకుంటాంట, వెళ్ళిపోరా అనే వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉన్నారు, బాధ వల్ల. సో వస్తువైనా వ్యక్తి అయినా ఆనందం, సుఖం ఇస్తేనే ప్రేమ ఉంటుంది, లేకపోతే ఉండట్లేదు. కానీ ఆత్మస్వరూపానికి సంబంధించినంత వరకు మనల్ని మనం ఎప్పుడు ప్రేమిస్తూనే ఉంటాము. అసలు ప్రేమించడం అన్న పదం కాదు, అసలు ద్వేషం అన్న పదము రానే రాదు. నన్ను నేను ప్రేమిస్తున్నాను, నేనంటే నాకు ఇష్టం అని మనం ప్రతిసారి చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం కూడా లేదు. మిగతా వస్తువులు, వ్యక్తులు అందరూ కూడా, అన్ని కూడా దేనికోసము అంటే స్వ ఆనందం కోసం. ఆత్మనస్తు కామాయ సర్వం ప్రియం భవతి, ఉపనిషత్తులో చెప్పిన వాక్యం. ఆత్మానందము కోసమే ఈ ప్రపంచంలో ఉన్న ప్రతి ఒక్కటి కూడా మనకి ఇష్టం అవుతోంది. ఆ ఆనందం కలగకపోతే దేని పట్ల మనకి ఇష్టం అన్నటువంటిది ఉండదు అని చెప్తున్నారు. మరి ఆత్మ అన్నటువంటిది ప్రేమ స్వరూపము, ఆనంద స్వరూపము అయి ఉన్నప్పుడు బాహ్యమైన విషయాల్లోనికి ఎందుకు మనసు వెళ్తోంది అంటే కోరికల కారణంగా. ఎప్పుడైతే వాసనలు లేకుండా ఉంటాయో, కోరికలు లేకుండా ఉంటాయో, అప్పుడు నిశ్చలమైనటువంటి అంతఃకరణం ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆత్మ అనుభూతి అన్నటువంటిది కలుగుతుంది. మనం వినే ఉంటాం భజగోవిందంలో, సత్సంగత్వే నిస్సంగత్వం, నిస్సంగత్వే నిర్మోహత్వం, నిర్మోహత్వే నిశ్చలతత్వం, నిశ్చలతత్వే జీవన్ముక్తి. అనిశ్చల తత్వం ఉన్నప్పుడు జీవన్ముక్తి అన్నటువంటిది కలుగుతుంది. ఆత్మ సదానంద నాస్య దుఃఖం కదాచన. ఆత్మ అన్నటువంటిది ఎప్పుడూ ఆనంద స్వరూపమే, అది ఎప్పుడు దుఃఖానికి కారణం కాదు, అందులో దుఃఖం అన్నటువంటిది లేశ మాత్రము కూడా లేదు అని చెప్తున్నారు. వ్యక్తులు, వస్తువులు ఎప్పుడు ఆనందాన్ని ఇచ్చేలా ఉంటే మనం ఎప్పుడూ కూడా జాగ్రత్త అవస్థలోనే ఉండాలనుకుంటా. కానీ ఎందుకు మనిషి నిద్రపోతున్నాడు అంటే, వస్తువుల కంటే, వ్యక్తుల కంటే, వాళ్ళ ద్వారా వచ్చే ఆనందం కంటే ఎక్కువ ఆనందము నిద్రావస్థలో పొందడం జరుగుతుంది. అంటే విషయాలు లేనప్పుడు ఆనందం అన్నటువంటిది ఉంటుంది. ఆత్మ ఆనందం అన్నటువంటిది కూడా నిర్విషయము. ఏ విషయం లేనప్పుడు ఆనంద స్వరూపము అనుభవంలోనికి వస్తుంది. ఉదాహరణతో చెప్తున్నారు తర్వాత శ్లోకంలో, యత్ సుషుప్తౌ నిర్విషయ ఆత్మానంద అనుభూయతే. నిద్రావస్థలో ఏ విషయాలు లేనప్పటికీ కూడా ఆనందం అన్నటువంటిది అనుభవంలోనికి వస్తుంది. శృతుల ద్వారా, ప్రత్యక్షంగా మన అనుభవంలో, సాంప్రదాయంలో అందరూ చెప్పేటువంటిది, అనుమానం ద్వారా కూడా మనం తెలుసుకోదగినటువంటిది. ఏ విషయాలు లేకపోయినా, శబ్దస్పర్శ రూప రసగంధాదులు లేకపోయినా, మనకి ఇష్టమైన వ్యక్తులు లేకపోయినా, మనకి ఇష్టమైన వస్తువులు లేకపోయినా, మనం అనుకున్నది జరగకపోయినా, మన శరీరము ఏ అనారోగ్య స్థితిలో ఉన్నా, మనస్సులో ఎన్ని బాధాకరమైన ఆలోచనలు ఉన్నా, చుట్టుపక్కల ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రపంచం నుంచి ఎన్ని ఇబ్బందులు ఉన్నా కూడా, ఆనందం ఇచ్చేవి ఉన్నా, బాధని కలిగించేవి ఉన్నా, అన్నింటినీ వదిలేసి మనిషి నిద్రపోవాలి అనుకుంటున్నాడు. ఎందుకు నిద్రపోవాలనుకుంటున్నాడు అంటే, నిద్రా సమయంలో ఏ విషయము లేకున్నప్పుడు ఎక్కువ ఆనందాన్ని అనుభవించడం జరుగుతోంది. జీవుడు అహరహర్ గమయతి అంటారు. అహరహర్ బ్రహ్మ గమయతి, ఇది చాలా ముఖ్యమైన అంశం. అహరహర్ బ్రహ్మ గమయతి అంటే ప్రతిరోజు మనకి తెలియకుండానే మనము బ్రహ్మతత్వాన్ని పొందుతూ ఉన్నాం. కాకపోతే అజ్ఞానం కారణంగా అది ఆత్మస్వరూపం, బ్రహ్మస్వరూపం అని మనకి నిద్రావస్థలో తెలియటం లేదన్నమాట. రేపటి రోజున దీనికి సంబంధించి ఇంకా 2-3 అంశాలు ఉన్నాయి, కొంచెం వివరంగా చెప్పుకుందాము. దీన్ని కానీ మనం పూర్తిగా అర్థం చేసుకున్నట్లయితే, ఈ అంశాన్ని ఈరోజు మనం చెప్పుకున్నటువంటి టాపిక్, మనకు ఉన్నటువంటి దాదాపుగా బాధలన్నీ కూడా తొలగిపోయినట్లే. ఆనందానికి మూలం ఆత్మస్వరూపం. ఇంకా బాహ్యమైనటువంటి వాటి ద్వారానే ఆనందం కలుగుతుంది అన్న థాట్ మన మైండ్ లోంచి తీసేస్తే, బయట సుఖం ఉన్నా, దుఃఖం ఉన్నా, దానివల్ల మనకేం పెద్దగా ప్రభావం మన మీద చూపించవాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఇవన్నీ కూడా భౌతికమైనటువంటి వాటి ధర్మాలు. ఆత్మస్వరూపం ఎప్పుడూ ఆనంద స్వరూపం. నిజమైన ప్రశాంతత, ఆనందం అనుభవించాలంటే ఈ వేదాంతపరమైన అంశాన్ని అర్థం చేసుకుంటే శాశ్వత ఆనందము, శాశ్వత ప్రశాంతత కలుగుతుంది. ఎన్ని రోజులని, ఎంత కాలమని, చిన్న వాటిల్లో కొంతమంది వ్యక్తుల ద్వారా, కొన్ని వస్తువుల ద్వారా, కొన్ని విజయాలు సాధించడం ద్వారా ఎంతకాలమని ఆనందం పొందాలని అనుకుంటూ ఉంటాం. తాత్కాలిక ఎన్ని సంవత్సరాల నుంచి మనకి సేమ్ అనుభూతి కదా, సేమ్ అనుభవాలు, అయినా ఎక్కడ ఆగుతున్నాము. అలానే ఏదో సోమరిగా ఉండాలి, ఏ పనులు చేయకూడదని కాదు, బయట వ్యవహారం చేస్తూనే ఉండాలి, మనకున్న డ్యూటీలు మనం చేస్తూ ఉండాలి. కానీ లోపల మాత్రం పొరపాటున కూడా ఆనందం కోసం దేని మీద ఆధారపడకూడదు. ఎందుకు అంటే ఆనందం మనమే అయి ఉన్నాం కాబట్టి. ఉన్న ఆనందాన్ని పాడు చేసుకోకుండా ఉంటే చాలా. ఇంకొక మాటలో స్ట్రాంగ్ గా చెప్పాలంటే ఓకే, tomorrow we will discuss more of it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om.